Some games don't just keep you busy, they completely take over. You start playing for a bit, and suddenly hours are gone. These are the games that hook you fast and make it hard to stop. Here are the 20 games so addictive you can't stop playing. Metro Exodus is one of those games that quietly pulls you in, and suddenly you've been playing for hours. It starts with Artyom leaving the underground tunnels of Moscow, heading out into the open world for the first time, hoping there's still life out there. What makes it so addictive is how everything connects. You're exploring big open areas, scavenging for supplies, fixing your gear, and deciding how to deal with enemies instead of just shooting non-stop. Some moments are slow and calm, others get really tense, and that contrast keeps the gameplay feeling fresh. The way the game is built also helps a lot. Each area feels different, with its own vibe, weather, and small stories happening in the background. If you like games that mix exploration, survival, and story in a way that feels natural and immersive, Metro Exodus is the kind of game that's hard to put down once you get into it.
Amino acids in tar, as in proteins?
Of course. How else did you think that chiral creatures could emerge from it? Some have even theorized that the tar is a sort of...
Death Stranding 2 on the beach pulls you back into a strange, quiet world that's hard to leave once you settle into it. You're following Sam again as the story moves into even stranger territory, with new places to explore and more questions about what this world really is and where it's heading. What makes the game so addictive is how it turns simple actions into something oddly satisfying. Walking, planning routes, managing your gear, and helping others all connect into a loop that just works. You're always thinking about your next move, your next delivery, or the safest way to get where you're going. One moment it feels calm and peaceful. The next it's tense and unpredictable. And that contrast keeps you hooked. Death Stranding 2 is the kind of experience you can easily lose hours in. Demon's Souls is the kind of game that hooks you because it refuses to go easy on you. You're dropped into the kingdom of Boletaria, a place swallowed by fog and demons where your goal is simple: survive and push forward. What makes it so addictive is the gameplay loop. You fight carefully, die, learn, then try again just a little smarter than before. Combat is slow and deliberate, so every swing, block, and dodge matters. Beating a tough enemy or boss feels earned, and that sense of progress is hard to walk away from. From Software designed it around risk and reward, where patience is just as important as skill. The level design connects in clever ways, and every area teaches you something new without ever spelling it out. Demon's Souls is one of those experiences you simply can't stop playing once it clicks.
the world falls silent. My blade speaks for them!
Where Winds Meet is the kind of game that pulls you in fast and quietly eats your time without you noticing. It starts with you as a wandering swordsman in ancient China, caught in political conflict and personal mystery. What really makes it addictive is the freedom. You're not locked into one way of playing. You can jump into stylish martial arts combat, switch weapons and skills, or get distracted by side activities that suddenly turn into hours of playtime. The combat feels smooth and flashy, and learning new moves or builds gives you that constant sense of progress. The open world encourages exploration rather than pushing you down one path. It's clearly designed to keep players engaged for long sessions. If you like games that give you freedom, steady progression, and that can't stop playing feeling, Where Winds Meet is exactly that kind of time sink. Dying Light the Beast drops you back into the chaos with a much darker tone. You're following Kyle Crane again, but he's not the same person anymore. After what he's been through, the story leans into survival, revenge, and losing control. And that makes the setup feel more intense right from the start. Combat and progression also keep pulling you back. Upgrading skills, finding better gear, and learning how enemies behave makes every session feel productive. You always feel like one more run will get you something useful. What makes the game so addictive is the movement. Parkour still feels fast and smooth, and once you get into the flow, it's hard to stop. You're constantly running across rooftops, jumping gaps, and making split-second decisions about whether to fight or just keep moving.
They thought they could control me. Now, I will tear them apart. One by one.
Stellar Blade pulls you in pretty fast with its clean sci-fi setting and smooth action. You play as Eve, sent to a ruined Earth to fight back against creatures that wiped out most of humanity. What really makes the game addictive is how good the combat feels. Attacks are quick, dodges are tight, and timing actually matters. Once you get into the rhythm, fights start to flow, and you catch yourself wanting to keep going just to get better at it. Every encounter feels like a small challenge instead of filler. Progression helps a lot too. You're unlocking new skills, upgrades, and gear that change how you approach combat, so it never feels stuck in one gear. Exploration adds to that loop, with side paths and optional fights that reward curiosity. If you're into action games that feel polished and easy to get hooked on, Stellar Blade is the kind of game you can lose hours to without even realizing it. Tormented Souls 2 brings back that old-school survival horror vibe, where every step feels risky. You're following Caroline Walker again as she's pulled into another twisted situation, dealing with strange visions in a place that clearly doesn't want her there. The story builds slowly, and that mystery is a big reason you keep pushing forward. What makes the game so addictive is the tension. You're exploring dark rooms, solving puzzles, and trying to survive with limited resources. Ammo is tight, and you're always thinking about your next move. That loop of explore, panic, figure things out, and survive is hard to walk away from. The gameplay sticks close to classic survival horror, with fixed camera angles and a heavy focus on atmosphere. It forces you to slow down and pay attention instead of rushing through areas.
My name's Miguel. I'm looking for someone soon. Maybe we should team up.
Anna still has a role to play in this story, just as you do. And this is your destiny.
NieR Automata is one of those games that gets addictive because it never stays the same for long. You step into a world where androids are fighting machines to take Earth back, and at first it feels like a clean sci-fi action setup. But the more you play, the more it starts asking bigger questions and pulling you deeper into its story. What really keeps you playing is how the gameplay keeps shifting. Combat is fast and smooth, mixing melee attacks, shooting, and movement in a way that feels great to control. Just when you think you've seen everything, the game changes perspective or introduces new mechanics that shake things up and keep it feeling fresh. If you like games that surprise you, stay fun to play, and slowly pull you into something deeper, NieR Automata is the kind of experience that's hard to put down once it clicks.
Perhaps we're not so different after all. We're soldiers. We take pride in our service.
The Quarry is the kind of game that hooks you because it feels like you're inside a horror movie where every choice actually matters. It starts with a group of teens stuck at a summer camp after things go wrong, and from there, the night slowly unravels. You're not rushing into chaos right away. The tension builds, the characters talk, joke, argue, and that makes everything feel real before it all falls apart. What makes it so addictive is how your decisions shape the story. Small choices, quick reactions, even what you say in a conversation can completely change who survives and how the story plays out. Gameplay is simple but effective. You're mostly making choices, exploring, and reacting in tense moments. But it never feels boring because the pacing keeps shifting. 1 minute you're calm, the next you're panicking, trying not to mess up a split-second decision.
Did you hear that? Should we look?
Maybe it was the bears.
And why does everyone blame everything on bears? Okay.
You got anything better? I mean, like zombies, aliens, time-hopping Draculas.
Ryan?
Hey!
Run! Anything needs to happen, please!
We ain't playing games no more, little girl.
There's something coming!
1, 2, lost, Max, we're lost. 3!
Terrified kids are bad for business.
You have to cut it off! Cut it off! Together for 10 years, and now you tell me she's my enemy.
What about you, Jack? What's it going to be? Loyalty to your country or loyalty to me? Your country or your old mentor? The mission or your beliefs? Your duty to your unit or your personal feelings? You don't know the truth yet. But sooner or later you'll have to choose. I don't expect you to forgive me.
You've got to do it, Snake. She's your enemy and your objective.
You're a soldier. Finish your mission. Prove your loyalty.
Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater is one of those games you can't stop playing once it clicks. It pulls you into a Cold War-era mission where survival isn't just about shooting, it's about thinking, planning, and adapting. You play as Snake, dropped deep behind enemy lines, and from the start, the game makes you feel like every move matters. What makes it so addictive is the freedom in how you approach everything. You can sneak, set traps, avoid fights, or take enemies head-on. You have to manage stamina, heal injuries, and even hunt for food, which turns survival into part of the gameplay loop instead of a background mechanic. That constant decision-making keeps your brain engaged the whole time. If you like games that reward creativity and smart play, Metal Gear Solid Delta is the kind of experience that keeps pulling you back for just one more mission. Alan Wake 2 gets addictive because it keeps messing with your head in ways you don't expect. It starts with a strange murder case and a writer who's been missing for years, and from there, the story keeps twisting. You're jumping between characters, places, and versions of reality. What really pulls you in is how the gameplay supports the story. You're investigating scenes, piecing together clues, managing limited resources, and using light carefully in combat. The pacing is smart too. Quiet moments let the atmosphere sink in, then things suddenly spike with danger or a big story reveal. Remedy clearly designed it to keep you engaged, not overwhelmed, and that balance makes long play sessions feel natural. If you enjoy horror games that pull you forward with mystery, Alan Wake 2 is absolutely worth sinking hours into.
Left a message.
It's for us. The text is about us.
We were all trapped in a horror story. The horror story wanted us dead. There's something I'm forgetting. Something important. Something's not right!
Easy now. First things first. What's your name?
Been looking for you for a very long time. I'll tear you apart with my bare hands! Try it. Now die!
But we will face it together.
We're talking.
Let's shut him up. I am a shield of Rosaria, and I will do my duty. Come on, Ifrit. Show us your true power.
Final Fantasy XVI is one of those games that gets addictive before you even realize it. You start out in a dark, serious world where power and conflict drive everything, and the story pulls you in fast. Once things kick off, it's hard not to keep playing just to see what happens next. The combat is a big reason it's so addictive. It's fast, smooth, and feels great once you get the rhythm down. As you unlock new abilities tied to the icons, fights keep changing, so you're always tempted to keep playing just to try out something new. The big boss battles feel like full-on spectacles and naturally push you to keep going. The game moves cleanly between story, combat, and exploration without dragging things out. There's always another moment, another fight, or another reveal waiting, which keeps the momentum going. Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth gets you obsessed before you even realize it. You start off following Ichiban in a new place, waking up in a foreign country, broke, confused, and trying to figure out how his life suddenly went off the rails again. What keeps you hooked is how much there is to mess around with. The turn-based combat feels more active this time, with movement, positioning, and team attacks that make every fight feel fun. On top of that, the side activities are everywhere, and they're actually fun. You tell yourself you'll just do one quick side quest, and suddenly an hour is gone. The game also feels really polished. The world is busy, colorful, and full of personality. You can tell the developers wanted players to relax, explore, and enjoy the ride instead of rushing to the end.
Head of Kazuma Kiryu. What better trophy than the head of a dragon?
I really need your help, like, right now.
I'd take a bullet for a bud any day.
Take cover!
You can always turn a new leaf, but you can't turn back the clock. All you get is the precious time you're given. You ready for this, Kasuga?
Let's do this.
Astro Bot is the kind of game that gets you hooked almost immediately because it's just fun to play. You jump in as this little robot on a mission to rescue his friends, and right away the game starts throwing creative ideas at you. It never overcomplicates things, but it always finds new ways to surprise you. What makes it so addictive is how good it feels to control. The movement is smooth, the jumps feel perfect, and every level adds a new twist that keeps things fresh. You're always curious about what the next stage will do differently, which makes it really easy to keep playing just one more level. Every level feels handcrafted, and the constant variety is what makes it hard to stop. You finish one stage and immediately want to try the next. If you're looking for something fun and easy to get lost in, Astro Bot is one of those games that keeps you playing without even trying.
Grenade and running. Every encounter is different. That's why. Wait, what's that thing always saying?
Where'd I put my damn backpack?
No, the other thing.
Oh, adapt or die.
Bingo. Keep on your feet, kid, and you'll be fine.
It's not just art, though. I mean, up topside, ammo's cheap and trust is expensive.
Hey, come on. Some raiders are good stock.
Yes, some, but every raid has been burned once. You gotta learn to trust your gut up there.
It's not just being quick on the draw, though. It's about improvising with everything you have.
Even the best plans fail sometimes, and some are just too loud.
Arc Raiders gets addictive really fast because every run feels like a gamble you want to take. You're dropped into a broken world where giant machines roam around, and your goal is simple. Go in, grab what you can, and make it back out alive. But nothing ever goes exactly as planned, and that tension is what keeps pulling you back. What makes it so easy to get hooked is the risk and reward loop. Combat can flip from calm to chaos in seconds, and even a small mistake can cost you everything you collected. That constant pressure makes every run feel exciting instead of repetitive. The gameplay feels clean and responsive, and it's clearly built around replayability. Whether you're playing solo or with friends, each session feels different depending on how things unfold. The world design and enemy behavior keep you on your toes without feeling unfair. Donkey Kong Bananza is the kind of game that grabs you right away just by being fun. You jump in, start running, smashing things, and it all feels good almost instantly. There's no long setup or heavy story to get through. It just lets you play, and that's a big reason it's so easy to stick with. What keeps you coming back is how smooth and playful everything feels. The levels are full of little surprises, hidden paths, and moments that make you want to try again just to do it better. It never feels boring or padded out. The game also has a great vibe. The animations are lively, the music is catchy, and everything feels bright and energetic. Even when things get tricky, it stays light and fun instead of frustrating. If you like games that are easy to pick up and hard to stop playing, Donkey Kong Bananza is exactly that kind of experience. Hell Is Us pulls you in by doing something a little different right away. It doesn't tell you where to go or what to do. You're dropped into a broken, isolated world and left to figure things out on your own. That mystery alone makes you curious, and before you know it, you're exploring just to see what's around the next corner. Gameplay is built around exploration and close-range combat. You fight using melee weapons, dodging, blocking, and timing your attacks instead of spamming buttons. Enemies hit hard, so positioning and patience matter. You also use a small drone to scan areas and help navigate, which adds another layer to how you approach each zone. What makes it addictive is how discovery drives everything. You're constantly deciding where to go next, which path looks suspicious, or what area might hide answers.
This war is a blessing. Why come back?
Anyone in my shoes would have done the same.
Look at you, compromised by your emotions.
I want to piece together whatever is happening here, and you want to stop it.
We failed to stop the calamity.
There are always two sides to a story.
You fucking scumbags! You pissed off the wrong people.
Don't even try that psychological bullshit with me.
You must continue what we've begun to uncover.
Sackboy: A Big Adventure is one of those games that just feels good to play from the moment you start. You jump into a colorful world, and the goal is simple: keep moving forward, save your friends, and enjoy the ride. It doesn't overcomplicate things, which makes it easy to get hooked fast. The gameplay really shines in how each level introduces new mechanics. Some stages focus on precision jumps, others on timing and puzzles. You're always adapting, never just repeating the same thing over and over. That variety keeps your brain engaged and makes every new stage feel fresh. Combat and interactions are simple but fun. You punch, throw objects, and use gadgets in creative ways, especially when dealing with enemies or obstacles. The game encourages experimentation, and replaying levels to find secrets or improve your performance becomes part of the fun.
You're just adorable. That's why I saved you for last. Craft world will be mine!
Ghost of Tsushima becomes addictive because it makes everything you do feel smooth and satisfying. You play as Jin Sakai, a samurai forced to change his ways to protect his home during a Mongol invasion. Right from the start, the world pulls you in with its calm beauty and quiet tension. The gameplay is where it really hooks you. Sword combat feels clean and precise, with stances that change how you fight different enemies. Every duel feels focused and personal, while larger fights let you flow between attacks, parries, and stealth. Moving through the world is just as enjoyable. Riding your horse, following the wind instead of a mini-map, and discovering side activities naturally keeps you playing without feeling forced. Ghost of Tsushima is the kind of experience that keeps pulling you back in, even when you tell yourself you'll only play for a few minutes.
And die with honor.
If you stray from this path, what will you become?
A storm is coming.
Jin! Come on, Jin!
Baldur's Gate 3 gets addictive almost immediately because it gives you real freedom to play your own way. You start as a character infected with a strange parasite, thrown into a dangerous world full of magic, conflict, and unpredictable people. From the beginning, every conversation and choice feels like it actually matters, which makes you want to keep going just to see how things turn out. What really hooks you is how much control you have. Combat is turn-based, but it never feels slow because there are so many ways to approach each fight. You can talk your way out, sneak around, or use the environment in clever ways. Every solution feels valid, and that freedom makes experimenting hard to resist. If you enjoy games that let you shape the story and stay engaging no matter how long you play, Baldur's Gate 3 is the kind of experience that's almost impossible to put down.
How would you feel about helping me kill some evil bastards?
Blackett blesses me this day Together, we might survive.
I'll enjoy watching you try. In mere moments, all that you have dreaded will come to pass. When the screaming stops and your mind is gone, the rest, perhaps,